Okay, I see I am live. This is a good thing. All right, people, I may have some internet issues here this morning. It is very early. It is Monday, the 19th of February. And yes, it is 7:30 in the morning here. I want to let everyone know that uh, this is titled Truckers Are Boycotting New York City. And this is a pretty big deal here. This all stems from the judgment from the judge in New York City against Donald Trump. Um, the judge had put a uh, judgment against Donald Trump for $355 million. Actually, it'll end up being more like $455 million by the time you figure escrow accounts and things of that nature. Um, and now we have the truckers across the country that are going to boycott New York City. So, entail, what would this do to New York City if the truckers do not deliver products to New York City? Well, we have quite a bit of things that could happen here. Now, yesterday, even New York City's local news networks were telling people to get out and stock up on supplies, food, water, uh, any kind of toiletries that they may need. Um, there's a lot of things that could go terribly wrong for New York City. Now, if I have problems with this video, I'm truly sorry. I do have a very bad internet provider, which is CenturyLink. I don't mind saying that right out loud. Please, if you got it, get rid of it. They're the worst company in the world. I only have like 6 megabytes a second here. So, anyway, to get on with what I'm saying, hopefully, I won't get halfway through this live stream and lose my signal again, like I did partially through the last video I have done. But I have to say one thing. I do support the truckers backing Donald Trump. I spent close to 20 years driving tractor trailer over the road myself. We have lived a rough life, very rough life, especially when you're out on the road for, let alone a week, which is what some of the normal truckers do. But when you drive over the road, you're not only driving over the road for a week, some are on the road for a couple of months at a time. I was one of them. And I can tell you that it's not an easy life. It's bad enough that when I drove truck over the road, I was getting paid on average 75 cents per mile. Guess what those truckers are getting per mile today? Basically the same amount that I was making back in the 1990s. Okay? So their cost has not gone up on what they get paid. But they do get better loads. Some do pay more than others. But these truckers live a rough life. Excuse the way I'm talking because it's very early in the morning and I have not slept since yesterday. But anyway, to get back to what I'm saying here, there are various issues going on that people need to be aware of here. This can be very drastic for New York City. There are some truckers that are even stating that they will not even go into New York State at all. Now, if this happens, even though people have been warned by their, my screen's freezing up, lousy internet service. But like I'm saying, even though people are being warned yesterday in New York City, I wonder how many people have taken heed to the warning to stock up on food, supplies, water, gas for your vehicle. Because there are now even delivery companies stating right out that they will not be making deliveries to any companies in New York City. Excuse me. Now, you not only have your truck drivers, but now you also have your local delivery drivers that will not be making deliveries in New York City. This is not good for New York City. Now, you can look at things like a lot of other people do, and I can tell you firsthand that by me living here in the state of Florida and going through hurricanes and things like that, um, excuse me, my screen has frozen up again. I hate poor internet providers. But like I was stating, living here in the state of Florida, when we have hurricanes, I've gone as long as 14 days and longer, actually, than 14 days without electricity in my area. Stores were totally shut down because they had no electricity. Now, going that long without being able to get supplies, how do you survive? How are these people in New York City going to survive? Because within 3 days' time, there won't be any way to get any food because these stores will be emptied out completely. And the way we've had all these smash and grabs throughout the country and people loading up their shopping carts and just walking out of stores, as we have seen across the country, what do you think will happen in New York City? People will be going ballistic over this situation because they don't know where they're going to get any food from. You can go a couple of days if you have food in your home. But what happens if this lasts a week? Excuse me. Let me get a little drink here. Okay. So, what does happen if this lasts a week? Well, stores will be depleted of all items that they might have. What are you going to do for food once the stores run out of food? What are you going to do when you can no longer get gasoline or diesel for your vehicle so that you could get back and forth to work? This could be a total catastrophe for New York City. or even for the whole state for that matter. Not only are they dealing with the illegal immigrants there, but you're dealing with your normal everyday people that need a way to cope and get through society. So, how do you handle a situation like this? Well, I could tell you that they're really pushing hard for this judge to put these judgments against Donald Trump. They're pushing hard to make him reverse the orders he put against Trump on these charges. Now, we all know they're bogus charges. Letitia James, I believe her name is, she was the start of all this propaganda, all this witch hunt against Donald Trump. But how do people handle this? Well, how about if I go ahead and show you some information about this? Let me put my cheaters on so I can see what the heck I'm doing here. And I'll show you some clips here of what we have. Let's see if I can get this up to date and get it to work properly. If I can get it to work. I'm trying, people. With my internet not being too good, lost it. With my internet not being too good, it makes it a little hard to get things set up here. So give me a second, please. And with my internet being lousy, it doesn't work that good either. Hopefully it'll work. I'm hoping. If not, I might have to go back to what I started doing here. Excuse me a second. I'm trying to get this to work. Okay. Let's see if we can get something to work here. Ah, here we go. As you can see, we do have um, well, my screen is buffing here. It figures, right? I'm trying to do the best I can for everyone here. It's not easy going ahead and doing this stuff, and people think it is, but it really isn't. I'm trying to get this to work. Like I say, my internet is so slow that it's really to get anything done here. Give me a second here, people, please, if you would. It figures. Well, we'll back out of that. Okay, I got a huge screen here. This didn't go as planned. Ah, here we go. All right, since that one didn't work, whoa, it sucks not having a good internet provider. I'll tell you that right now. I will get to something else here. 1 second here. And I know this one will be better for sure. As soon as this sets up. Okay, this should be good here. Once this loads, here we go. Now this here is a guy out of New York City. And let me get to and you could we'll watch what he says here. And then this way you'll understand and see what is going on here.
Hey, folks, your old pal, Chicago Ray. I've been on the radio talking to drivers for about the last hour 15 minutes, and I'm talking to at least 10 drivers going the other way. I'm heading down from South Wisconsin, and they're going
I hate having a bad internet connection here, people.
to start refusing loads in New York City starting on Monday. All right. I got about 3 drivers that I drive with. They already vibrated the boss and told them they ain't going to New York City. So I don't know how far across the country this is, or how many truckers are going to start denying loads to going to New York City. But I'll tell you what, you fuck around and find out. Okay?
And that's a good point from him right off the bat, I must say. He's got a good point. There are a lot of people that really are not happy about this.
Because owner operators, they will turn stuff down. They will be honest with.
We'll start from the beginning here.
Okay, trucking report. So I saw that there was this this idea of, hey, in New York we're going to do a trucking strike and truckers aren't going to go into New York. Here's the deal. There are so many company drivers now that these kinds of strikes probably aren't going to do the dent you think they're going to do. I mean, let's be real here.
Excuse buffing again.
You've got, I mean, the industry has been trying to get rid of owner operators for decades. So
now I'm going to tell you something about this guy. I'm not too sure of how he or what he is going to say, but I'm getting the impression right off the bat that he doesn't care whether they go into New York State or not. It's like people going on strike. You have scabs that will go to work either way, and I think that this is the type of guy that would do just that. But I'll get back to this here.
really since the 60s they've been trying to get rid of owner operators, and really since the 90s they've been really
I can agree
pushing hard to get rid of owner operators, because owner operators, you know, they will turn stuff down. They will be honest with brokers. They can see through all the bullshit. They see through these loads that pay a bunch of money, and then the broker takes like 60% of it, does nothing, and dumps all the responsibility onto a driver and makes it all his problem. In addition to, you know, he has to pay all the maintenance and upkeep and insurance and on and on. Okay, and this is that middleman economy, you know, that we've all seen. And I think that for those of you, again, remember, this is a trucking report. So if you're not interested in trucking or anything, you can just move on. I mean, I'm talking predominantly to truckers, but for owner operators that are out there not going to New York, I mean, most of us already hate New York anyway. We already hate going to the Northeast in general because the Northeast sucks, right? I mean, there's no place to park. I mean, everything there costs a goddamn fortune, and everything's a toll road. So, you know, a lot of us don't go there anyhow. So I don't think it's going to be quite have the impact that people think it is going to have. It'd be great if it did, but you know, like I said, I mean, like for those of us who've been doing this for a while, who've been doing this for many, many years, we all.
Now, I do disagree with what he is saying. He doesn't think it's going to make a big impact, but there's already companies, their dispatchers and all, that are stating that they will not make deliveries into New York City. So this is mostly stuff that has come out yesterday and not this morning. So hopefully you take heed to the warnings here that I'm posting and many other YouTubers are posting today.
All know how this game is played. More and more guys are being turned into company drivers. They're not being turned into owner operators, or they're being turned into these like quasi lease driver kind of guys, where the companies are effectively taking advantage of these guys with ridiculous interest rates, ridiculous lease rate factors. You know, putting them on these loads, keeping them basically in poverty the entire time, so that they never leave the company. They always perpetually owe. It's that you know, I owe my soul to the company store kind of thing. It's really kind of that. It's just on a grand scale in the trucking world, which is kind of what's going on in the world in general. Actually, I mean, if you look at the way things are going, I mean, there's this idea of just getting, you know, people, you know, more and more closed off from the rest of the world, and that is what's happening. And, you know, less and less and less freedom. You know, we see it with for example, these 15-minute cities. You know, that's probably coming for a lot of folks, and so you're completely reliant on outside forces. You're not able to be self-reliant on, you know, inside your 15-minute city. And of course, you know, if you're in your 15-minute city, and
I disagree with what he's talking about. If enough people fight against these 15-minute cities, it won't happen. All right. Since he was talking about that, I want to get into another thing here, and I want you people to watch and listen to this woman. We'll start this from the beginning. This is very important as well.
The truckers are saying that they don't like the decision regarding Donald Trump and how he can't do business in New York for 3 years, so they just decided they're not going to deliver to New York for 3 years. Now, if that happens tomorrow, like these truckers are saying, it could have a large impact on just the supplies coming in to New York. Do I blame them? No. It goes to show that the American people does not need to choose violence to get our point across. The truckers have stood up before. It could shut this whole country down. It's time for we the people to realize that we have the power. We have the power to tell the Biden administration that we are done with his fuckery. We are done with him putting us as some second-class citizens, some red-headed stepchild type bullshit, while he's focusing on his foreign aid, laundering. We can do this. We just need to come together. If you agree with me, put a heart in the comments. The truckers are showing us what to do. They're putting their money where their mouth is.
Very good point. See, these people are wise to what's going on here. And a lot of people know Like we have this guy here, Gilbert Kays. No truck of any kind will move in New York City as a protest against the weaponization of the justice system against Donald Trump by the despotic, corrupt Biden regime and election interference by the regime. Now, people, this is very serious here. We're getting into a lot of different things here. If you're in New York, you better stock up on food because the city will face food shortages soon. Truckers are boycotting New York City in protest against the weaponization of the justice system against Trump by the despotic Biden regime. Like I stated, this is not going to be good for people that live in New York City. Now, I've gone
The
through a
truckers
couple of those, and you do see, I just played that video. Um, and as you could see, a lot of people stand with the truckers. You know, if people don't wake up here, there's going to be a lot of problems. Here's another guy. He's giving warning to people in New York City as well. Um, I'll play what he has to say here and see what you think.
New York. If you're from New York, listen up. You better start going to the grocery stores right now. If you're from New York, if you are not stocked up on food by Monday, you're going to start feeling the pain by the end of that week. New Yorkers, truck drivers are going to stop delivering food to New York. You heard me. They are now entering the battle with Donald J. Trump. They say they will not deliver nothing, not one load to New York City until they leave Donald Trump alone, until they release Donald Trump from all charges. So get prepared. How y'all feel about this? Do y'all think this is going to be effective? Do you think it's going to create a change? I think it can. My opinion, I think it might work. I don't know, but how y'all feel about this one? This
See, there's a lot of stuff going on, people, and you're all being warned. Excuse my coughing. While I'm smoking a cigarette and choking to death. Here's another guy that's going to give his point of view as well.
I wanted to make Patriots. This is Trucker Jake. I've been driving all day, but I wanted to make a video before I turn in. We've had a big day today. A couple of posts went viral, and we are welcoming 9,000 new MAGA brothers and sisters to our family. 9,000 in one day. It's just amazing. So blessed. Let me introduce myself. I am Jake. I am a
It sucks when you have a bad internet provider.
hazmat trucker. I am a Christian, Trump supporter. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't chase women. I don't gamble. And I don't argue with liberals. The first 5 are a waste of my money. The last one is a big waste of my time. I believe in prayer. I believe in hard work. And that's what this is all about. We are all patriots here, and we are servants of the Lord. Anyway, like I said, I'm a little tired. I'm going to wrap it up. This is Trucker Jake. God bless President Trump. God bless MAGA America. God bless all of you. Have yourself a great night.
Oh,
Patriots, this is Trucker Jake. I've been driving all day, but
all right. We already seen that. And as you can see, we have a lot of people that support Donald Trump throughout this whole thing. All the way down the line. as you can see, a lot of stuff going on here. Excuse that in front of my screen here. So let me get back to my regular things here that I want to talk about here. I'll remove that out of there as soon as my internet catches up. Hey, I'm back. Okay. So anyway, let me get back to what I'm talking about here. We're going to have a lot of issues going on out of this whole situation here. Like I stated, if you live in New York State, I hope that you're prepared for what's to come here. There are a lot of things that are definitely brewing, and it might not just be New York State. This could happen to many other um, cities. Why I say that is because a lot of this stuff is hang on a second. A lot of this stuff is not right in any way, shape, or form. And when we have things like that happen here, excuse me, because I was trying to get things situated here. Even though my internet is probably a bad live stream, I'm sorry. But I'm trying to put things in perspective here. This could go batshit crazy, so to speak. It could end up that every Democratic city that has tried to put charges against Donald Trump, this could go throughout the whole nation. If the truckers do this much damage to New York City, imagine what they can do throughout the country. Now, 16% of the truckers that drive over the road in this country are owner operators. There are also many other truckers that have told their dispatch offices that they will not in any way, shape, or form make any deliveries to the state of New York. Period. The whole state. Now, there are already companies in New York City and New York State, excuse me, that are canceling any deliveries at all until this issue is resolved. So this is expanding to not just the over the road truckers. You have to remember that the truckers make deliveries to not only your grocery stores, but your drugs that go to your pharmacies, your warehouses that deliver. If they boycott deliveries as well in New York State to New York City, New York City's going to be like the movie Escape from New York. There's going to be big issues here. And many people don't realize what can happen here. This can turn out to be the beginning of a civil war, where instead of the South rising up first, it will be the North that rises up against our local governments. This could turn into a revolutionary war. People have had enough of this crap with this Democratic administration. We have watched them, excuse me, we have watched them totally since President Biden was installed as president. We have watched this country go in total disarray. It's a banana republic. It's as bad as Venezuela now. The illegal immigrants are getting over 3 times more in financial assistance than people like myself that are getting Social Security retirement or SSI or Social Security disability, any of that. So, how are we, the American people, to survive? These illegal immigrants are getting $5,000 a month. I live on $1,200 a month. Can you survive on that? These illegals can get a free bus ticket or plane ticket to go anywhere they want in the United States. Do we get that? No. They get free housing. Do you get that? No. So you have to think, what's right for this country? Do you like that you're working a 40-hour week, maybe 2 or 3 jobs in that week just to try and make ends meet? While now they're stating over 20 million illegal immigrants that have entered this country because they miscalculated their figures. And that doesn't include the getaways, however you want to look at it. They could live high on the hog, but yet you have American citizens, families with children, and homeless veterans that are living in the streets, in their cars, anything they can to try and provide for themselves. But who's getting all the assistance? Not the American people. It's the illegal immigrants that are getting all the assistance, and we're left as peasants. Those wages you made or are making, it's not going too far. Your mortgage rates have gone up sky high. Your rent has gone up sky high. Food prices, yeah, they're predicting those are supposed to go up another 30 to 50% within the next 1 to 2 months. We're in deep shit, people. And it's time that we finally adhere and believe in what the truckers are doing in this country. It's time that we stand behind the truckers of this country. It's time that we, the people, rise up as one people. It's time that we rebel. Now, I'm Tony D, and this is the American Freedom Fighters. I would wish that you would subscribe to my channel and put a like to my channel. If you like what I'm talking, please give me a thumbs up down over here. If you don't like what I have to say, give me a thumbs down. I don't care. It still helps get my algorithms up. These are things that we need to do. YouTube has deleted 3 channels that I've had here on this network. I'm trying with this channel to see what I can do. Since YouTube has changed their terms and conditions, it's made it quite hard for me. But I figured I'll give it a, since things are getting so crazy in the United States now, as well as these social media platforms, we can only hope that we will gather together as one. It's our politicians that are dividing us as a people. It doesn't make a difference if you're black, you're white, Hispanic, Asian. I don't care where you're from. But I have to ask you a question. Why are we allowing these illegal immigrants into our country and they don't speak a bit of English at all? Would you hire someone that doesn't speak English? And how do you communicate with them? So maybe you have to hire an interpreter to just communicate with these people. But most of these people are not interested in getting jobs and working as a migrant worker in a farmer's field. They want to get all the free benefits they can from our government. And what is our government doing? Well, our government's supplying them, but they're not supplying you and me. We, the people, are the ones that are suffering in this country. Instead of sending those billions of dollars to all these countries for their war efforts, they should be spending that money on the American people. Now, you have an installed president. Oh, by the way, yeah, happy President's Day, everyone. It's too bad we don't have a decent president that we could be honored to say is our president. I agree with the truckers. I believe that this past elections were rigged. We all, most of us, know that Biden was installed as president. We have seen many videos like 2000 Mules movies and a lot of other things that have happened, as well as these cyber attacks on our election system, voting machines, and things of that such. So, how do you feel about this? I hope you're as disappointed in what's happened as I am. There is no American dream at this time. It's gone, it's shattered. And all these jobs that they talk about, that's all fake news, more propaganda. These companies aren't hiring anyone. They may have a help wanted sign in their window, but they're not hiring anyone. They were told to put help wanted signs in their windows to make it look like they were looking for people. But instead, you have many, many companies that are laying people off. So there's going to be more people that'll be out of work. You have people that are starving. They cannot afford food that's in the supermarkets today. We have people that are homeless, and it's going to get much, much worse in the next couple of months. And of course, get back to this original title, Truckers Boycotting New York. That's going to be the beginning of something really big. Now, you have some people that disagree with that and say, oh, well, everything will be back together. They won't be shutting down New York City. You know what? They will shut down New York City. They will do this in spite to show that we, the people, have had enough. Now, I don't know how you people feel, and this is my opinion on things here on the American Freedom Fighters channel here. I'm Tony D, and I hope this video has turned out okay. With the internet issues I've had and everything else, I wanted to do this video yesterday evening. This computer has given me issues, and my internet has been very, very poor. I'm just hoping this live stream turns out better than the last one did. But on that note, I think I'm going to get out of here. I've been on here long enough and have explained enough. But I want you all to remember one thing. Now is the time to rise up. Remember what it was like just 4 years ago. Cheaper gas, cheaper rent and mortgage. There was the possibility of the American dream. People were happy, people were working and making money. Finally, being able to save up a little bit of money for a rainy day, which is more than likely gone now. This Build Back Better has actually built backwards instead of better. Everything's gone from the good to the bad. What you worked for before, you're now a slave to today. Many people do not have funds anymore. As for myself, I have a hot water tank that is leaking water. I turn it on to heat up some water to do dishes or take a shower, and then I have to shut everything down. It's not easy getting by because now I don't have the extra money to purchase another hot water tank. In one aspect, it's pretty sad because everything is so damn high today. Prices have doubled. Now, I feel the pain, and I know a lot of you people feel the pain as well. And I feel sorry for the people that are out there homeless and starving today. Once again, my heart goes out to everyone. I love you all. God bless you all. It's time to stand up and fight back. These truckers aren't doing this to get attention for themselves. They're doing this to try and wake everybody up in this country. To show you if they can do this to one man, then they're going to do it to everyone else. And they are sticking it to us big time right now. All our tax money is doing is going to feed wars in other countries instead of taking care of anyone here in the United States. I think I've said enough about this situation today. And once again, it's time to rise up. I hope you all have a good day. And as things unfold, I will be back here and I will be talking about more of this situation. And we shall see whether things get better or if they get worse. I thank you all once again for being here. Please subscribe, like this channel, or thumbs up, thumbs down. That's up to you. I need the assistance to get subscribers here on this channel. Once again, I'm starting from scratch all over again. And please, once again, excuse me for my poor internet service. I don't like it any more than you do. Here, I pay double what Spectrum pays for, say, 30 to 200 megabytes a second, and I only get 6. So it sucks when you live in a rural area like I do that you get lousy service. But it is what it is, and there's nothing I can do. Anyway, God bless y'all. Take care. This is Tony D with the American Freedom Fighters. Join the cause, people. It's time to rise up and fight for our rights, or we won't have any left. Support the truckers. Support your friends, your neighbors. Try to help out when you can, who you can. The heck with these illegal immigrants. They're here for a free ride. That ain't right. I busted my ass most of my life, and I know yous have too. Wake up, fight back. Once again, Tony D here with the American Freedom Fighters. Have a good day, y'all. Take care, and goodbye for now. See ya.